Hi, I'm Victoria, and together with my professional learning community at Simon Fraser University, I would like to acknowledge that we are settlers on the unsurrendered lands of the Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Squamish nations. We are grateful to the Indigenous elders for their stewardship of these lands, and we are reminded of Canada's long-standing colonial systems and our responsibility, collectively and individually, to learn and respect from Indigenous knowledge, histories, and connection to land. We are committed to this process of decolonization. Thank you.
The students and I want you to know how much we appreciate the time you have spent with us this semester. I know sometimes it was a bit of a challenge with internet and connections and the time zone. Woo! It's a big challenge, but we did it. We were able to connect remotely. We were able to learn from one another, and the students have just got so much to be grateful for. Just so you know, we had a basic education policy talk from Mr. Karma Chungdak. So thank you to him for that, and the students have engaged with learning a little bit about the Tibetan BEP and are quite intrigued and inspired by how you really strive to educate the whole child, including their spirit and the sense of compassion and kindness. That isn't something that necessarily makes its way into our education system on a formal level in Canada. So we're gonna send a little video. Well, this is the video you're gonna watch. That we're gonna share some of our same things that we've noticed, similarities between your schools and ours back in British Columbia, as well as a few different things that we found different, and just a chance to express our gratitude and thanks. If you have not already received it, you will be getting a certificate of appreciation from Simon Fraser University, as well as a little honorarium and a thank you card from myself on behalf of Simon Fraser University. So once again, Tujiche, thank you so much, and I do hope that one day our paths will cross and that we will get to be together in person. If not, we'll continue to partner remotely, and know that even though I might be cold right now, I have a very warm place in my heart for you. Wishing you all the best, and thank you once again for all that you have done to support our students, and we hope that you have learned a lot from us as well. Bye!
Hi. The story of Hoja and the foreigner that you're going to see is meant to show us how easy it is for two parties without any common cultural context to go away from a discussion thinking that we have communicated clearly and successfully. The story shows that in reality, each party has interpreted what was communicated in completely different ways within the context of what was familiar to them. Through our partnership with the Tibetan schools in India, we have learned to slow down and move away from the assumption that we've been understood or that we have understood what was communicated. The difference in cultural context encouraged us to slow down, connect deeply, and communicate from a place of understanding perceptions of time, classroom planning, and student learning that was very different from ours. We hope you enjoy the story as much as we did, and hopefully it helps you smile about all the times that we didn't make any sense.
Once upon a time, a foreign scholar and his entourage were passing through a town in Anatolia. The scholar asked to speak to the town's most knowledgeable person. The townsfolk immediately called Nasruddin Hoja to come to meet the foreign scholar. The foreigner did not speak Turkish, Persian, or Arabic, and Hoja did not speak any European languages, and so the two wise men had to communicate with signs while the townsfolk and the entourage watched in fascination. The foreigner used a stick to draw a large circle in the sand. Hoja took the stick and divided the circle into two halves. The foreigner drew a line perpendicular to the one Hoja drew, and the circle was now split into four. He moved the stick to indicate first the 3/4 of the circle, then the remaining quarter. In response, Hoja made a swirling motion with the stick on the 4 quarters. Then the foreigner made a bowl shape with his 2 hands held together side by side, palms up, and wiggled his fingers. Then, Hoja responded by cupping his hands with palms down and wiggling his fingers. When the meeting was over, the members of the foreigner's entourage asked him what they had talked about. Nasruddin Hoja is a very learned man, he said. I told him that the earth was round, and he told me that there was an equator slicing it in half. I told him that 3/4 of the earth was water and 1/4 of it was land. He said that there were undercurrents and winds. I told him that the waters warm up, vaporize, and move toward the sky, and to that he replied that they cool off and come down as rain. The people of the town were also curious about how the conversation went. They gathered around Hoja. This stranger has very good taste, Hoja explained. He said he wished there was a large tray of baklava. I said that he could only have half of it. He said that the syrup should be made with 3 parts sugar and 1 part honey. I agreed, and said that they all had to be well mixed together. Next, he suggested that we should cook it on a blazing fire, and I added that we should pour crushed nuts on top of it.
Go.
Okay, so starting off our PowerPoint, we're gonna talk about how our STSS schools, classrooms, and students similar to BC schools.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
So what I discovered is that both our school environments are very focused on community-centered learning. So the community plays a key component in the classroom and brings in life education skills, and all of that goodness is brought into the classroom, and it's made more inclusive and fun for everyone.
I discovered the student voices, that each student, just like here in Canada and around the world, they bring a unique perspective into our classrooms as well. They are all very incredibly shy. They don't not like talking, which is something that I think we all struggle with as teachers. So I found it a very, very cute thing.
It's funny when you don't want them to talk, they talk, but when you do, sometimes then they won't. Yes, that happens in Canada too, for sure, including with me, for you people.
So some similarities that I noticed with the students, they're so eager and active to learn, for my class at least. They were so excited to be there. And then they wanted to make education fun. I think that's a goal for everybody who's learning. If you're not having fun, then it's so much harder to learn. So they really wanted to have fun. And I taught teenagers, and they were teenagers being teenagers. They loved video games, shows, and music. Same as us when we were in high school. And then everybody had their own personalities. So I do wish I got some more time to interact with the students. But yeah, just getting to know them, and they were teenagers, but they were all themselves in their own ways. And then the schools, it was cool to see technology being incorporated into the classroom. And that's something that we have to do all around the world. And then being adaptive with teaching. The internet gave out while I was giving my lesson, and we got through it. We got through the whole lesson, even though the internet went out. So seeing how adaptive the teachers can be, and understanding that that's something we will need to do here as well.
Yep, amen to that. It never goes the way we plan, does it? I think every day I'm modeling how you gotta be flexible. Okay, next.
We also discussed how are Tibetan and BC schools different? Tibetan schools are and have.
So Tibetan schools have shorter time blocks compared to here in Canada. I loved personally your time blocks and how short and simple they were. We were able to get our lesson plan done, but also have time to have conversations and lead into the next block. So thank you.
Smaller class sizes. It was so nice to work with a class of 8 students that I observed. I noticed that this allows the individuals to participate a little bit more and each take turns reading out loud in front of the class. And yeah, that was because the BC classes are usually 25 to 35 students, so quite a difference. And the curriculum. So I watched that video on the curriculum and it was very interesting. The Tibetan curriculum definitely goes above and beyond and past numeracy and literacy and focuses on developing qualities in students such as wisdom, kindness, and compassion. This is something I thought was really exceptional. And I know that the BC curriculum previously focused just on numeracy and literacy. They also are in the process of going beyond this and, shaping well-rounded individuals by learning the themes of inclusion, diversity, anti-racism, SOGI, and eco-justice. So it is coming around to be to shape those individuals to be more well-rounded.
Yeah, we have so much to learn from the Tibetan community, and I think they're way ahead of us and in the whole person, including the spirit. So some thank yous, some tujiches from the students.
DJ, everyone, I had so much fun learning with you, beside you, all the way from here in Canada. It felt like I was in your classroom, just being a part of your community. So thank you for being adaptable and open.
Thanks, Rochelle.
Thank you, Miss Sering Dolma, and for the time to learn and grow in your classroom. Thank you for letting me get to know your students and spend time having fun alongside them while also getting to know them. I wish that all will be well, happy, and peaceful for you and your students, and I wish that no harm comes to you. Bahut bahut dhanyawad, and in my language, which is Malayalam, Nanni.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you so much for bringing me into the classroom, allowing us to learn. Takshishi, arigatou gozaimasu, and merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you for taking on the task of trying to incorporate us into your classrooms. I know it was hard because of the 12.5-hour time difference, hard for all of us. So we really appreciate all the hard work that went into that. And while we all had very unique experiences, we've gained so many new understandings from you. So tuji she.
Thanks, Shania.
Thank you, Jampa, for giving me the opportunity to learn from the students, as well as giving me the opportunity to teach. I had a lot of fun. I hope they did well on the test, and good luck with the rest of the school year. Thank you to Juche and Shesheni.
Thanks, Melanie, and that's right, they're in their exam time, so good luck on that, everybody.
Thank you to Jite. Thank you for the opportunity to take a glimpse into your classroom. I really appreciated the experience. Wishing you all the best with the rest of the school year.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right, I'd like to thank you guys for having me in the classroom. It was fun learning everyone and what everyone likes to do. I know a few were shy, and it's okay. I would like to just say thank you to Chiche and Tanawad. I hope the best for everyone.
Thanks, Jazz.
Thank you so much, Dondup Lama. It was a pleasure to observe your class and have the opportunity to teach a lesson. I learned a lot from your lessons, especially I enjoyed the anti-bullying one. I think that was such a great way to teach an English lesson, as well as teach them how to be an ally and with anti-bullying. And I just think it was so great. So I wish you and your students all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Haley. And Simran isn't feeling well today, so I'll speak on her behalf. She says, thank you to Jiche, thank you, Sering, Genki. It was a memorable experience having the opportunity to teach your class a lesson. I will cherish the teachings from you and the students through whatever connections we did make virtually. From Simran, Kaylee.
To Jiche, thank you so much for this opportunity. It was awesome to teach a class from the other side of the world. That was such a cool experience, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
Thanks, Lucas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tenzin Dakma, for the opportunity to both learn from you as well as having the opportunity to educate your students myself. I should also say thank you to the students because they were a pleasure to teach, and I learned a lot from this international partnership. I really enjoyed meeting everyone that I could help. To Jiche.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Tenzin, for giving me the opportunity to be able to teach in your classroom. It was such a privilege to be able to have that experience. I really learned a lot. And the students were all like so fantastic. They asked great questions, so eager to learn. I wish you and your students all the best. Thank you, and Toda.
Thank you, Sean. And Victoria is going to round us up.
Thank you very much, Dawa, and to all the Tibetan students. I enjoyed meeting you so much and learning from you. And I enjoyed learning about Tibetan culture and your holidays that you taught me about. I wish you all the best in your future, and I'd like to say goodbye from Canada, from SFU. Tujuche.
Okay, so something that we didn't get to experience that I think the students would have loved was tea every day with you. I know that they take a tea break instead of just a recess, and the students get a nice warm beverage. The tea is amazing. So hopefully all the students here one day get to go. But we would like to do something that's a tradition in Canada, which is to cheers. Now it's the morning, so we're probably going to cheers you with our coffees or our teas. So students, 1, 2, 3, cheers.
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 So bye for now. We really hope that we do get to see you maybe in person one day. Perhaps some of these relationships will continue to foster back and forth remotely. But until then, farewell, goodbye, Tashi Delay. You can say something, students.
Tashi Delay.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.